Looking at number 5, I'm going to do a couple things. First is graph. Then I'm looking at the domain and range and vertex of the function. So I want to be able to write all of that down. I see straight lines. That means that's a straight graph. When I point out my h is going to be the opposite of what I see. So instead of -1, it will be a +1, and my k will stay the same at a -4. That means I'm going to be going 1 to the right and -4 to the going down. Not to the left or right, but actually going down. So at 1 right and -4 down, I will be about right here. That should be where my vertex is. And now we can actually fill out, well, your vertex. It's going to be 1, -4, right? It is your h and your k. So since I've been able to point that out, I can do my vertex. Now looking at this as a problem and I want to graph it, well, I want to look at my axis of symmetry. So let's just graph my axis of symmetry. I want to find 2 points away from the axis of symmetry to plug in. I can either plug in -1, which are 2 points away, or I can plug in 3. Let's go with 3. So I have y equals 2 times 3 minus 1 minus 4. Let's simplify that. I have 2, absolute value. 3 minus 1 is 2, minus 4. Absolute value of 2 is 2. So I have 2 times 2 minus 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 4 equals 0. So at 3, I am looking at 0. Now, since this is 2 away, my graph reflects on the other side what that is going to look like. So it means I'm going to put another dot right there. Then I can draw with a straight edge 2 straight lines going through my graph. Now, if I were to write the domain and range, the domain, as we have talked about, will always be -infinity to infinity. However, the range, at a certain point, I can't reach any more y values. At what that point am I looking at? Well, I'm looking at that -4. Below -4, my graph doesn't hit that on the y values. So where I have my range is actually going to be starting at -4 and going to infinity. And that's how I can determine my domain, range, and vertex.